Whether you run an e-commerce business, a SaaS business, an info product or coaching business, or any other type of business, you're watching this video right now because you have an email list of people that follow you, have bought from you, any of these types of things, and they're on your email list voluntarily. The issue is that a lot of businesses market to that list of people and they get good open rates. They think things are going well and like people are opening the emails. They get good click rates, so like people are engaging with the emails at least at a moderate rate. However, they're not getting as much sales as they want to get from their email marketing. So if you fall into that bucket, what I'm about to go over with you here today on this video is going to kind of reveal what the problem might be there and what we're seeing for our clients. Because what most email marketers will tell you in a situation like this is that you need to use better subject lines, preview text, you need to improve the content, you need to do all these different optimizations. And look, let me be abundantly clear. If you do have a complete garbage email marketing setup and you're basically working from scratch, those things will make a drastic improvement. However, if you're watching this right now and you know that your email marketing strategy, your automations, your campaigns that you're sending out on a regular basis, your list growth rate, all those things are solid or they're at least like average, revamping all of it will only make marginal improvements. However, what we're going to go over today is going to completely transform the results that you're seeing and more importantly, the money that you're making from your email marketing. All right, so the first thing that I want to establish here is the funnel that someone has to go through in order for them to buy. And once again, this is going to be kind of targeted towards an e-commerce style business. However, the principles that I'm about to talk about here can literally apply to any type of business, any product or service that you're selling. So I want you to kind of dream with me here. First, you have an email, right? And now this email sends someone to a landing page. Now, the page that this person lands on should be different based on what you're selling. Let me explain. If this is a red light therapy e-commerce brand, then the customers that are going to buy from this brand need a lot of education in order to make their purchase. Because a red light therapy mat is essentially it's a product that solves an acute pain point where it provides very distinct benefits, and those benefits aren't regularly understood by normal people. So what we need to do here is we need to educate them with a pre-sell page. And this is where most people go wrong. What most brands would do in this scenario where they're a red light therapy mat e-commerce brand is they'll have an email, and then in this email, they'll cram a ton of information. Why is that a problem? Because most of the time, as you probably know, when you go into your email inbox, you're not sitting there ready to read a whole long letter. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes that is real and we do that for clients from time to time, but it's not necessarily optimal. What's optimal is if you take this email and you make it curiosity based to sell a click. We just want to take them out of their inbox. We want to take them from their email inbox to this page. Reason being, the page is where the selling is done. It's where the conversion happens. It's where the money is made. Now, this is the real problem that I'm making this whole video about. A brand that sells red light therapy mats needs to educate people a lot before they buy. But the mistake a lot of them will make is that this page right here, this landing page, will be just a product page and that's it. The reason that's a problem is because a product page doesn't give a whole lot of information or education in order to get someone to buy. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of businesses or brands, e-commerce brands that do this properly and their product pages are very educational and they could use it as more of a direct response style conversion page. But most of them don't. And if you're watching this far, I'm assuming you don't either. So instead what we want to do for a brand like this is make this a pre-sell page. Now, the cool part about a pre-sell page is that it can take a lot of different forms. It could be an advertorial, it could be a listicle, it could be like a hybrid e-com page. I'll get into what these mean in a minute, but first let's talk about the rest of the funnel. From here, they click this page and they advance on to what we know as the sales page. The sales page is where the actual sale happens, right? So the point of this page was to provide education. I'm gonna give you some examples here as well. Education, inform the reader, give them what they need in order to be sold so that by the time they get to the sales page, they actually purchase. The sales page does the final nail in the coffin. This one is just kind of disguised to get them to find a lot of, essentially persuade them to make the purchase. After the sales page, they advance on to checkout. And then after checkout is when they'll get hit with like post-purchase upsells and downsells. However, the whole purpose of this video is to talk about this step in the funnel. Because what a lot of brands or just businesses in general are doing right now is they're going from an email directly to a sales page and they're completely forgetting about this pre-sale page. Now, I want to be abundantly clear here. This is fine if you sell a product that doesn't need education. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're a clothing brand. So let's change this. Let's say you're selling t-shirts or watches or like aesthetic, maybe jewelry, for example. These aren't products that require a lot of education or information in order to get someone to buy. However, the point still stands here because a lot of these types of businesses as well will send people from an email directly to, again, a boring product page. Instead here, we want to send them to a optimized landing page that's built to convert and is based on different portions of your website. For example, maybe you have a boys collection and a girls collection. You might have a whole landing page dedicated to showing off your boys collection and the same thing for the girls collection. That's just one quick example. All right, so now let's say you're watching this and you are a business that needs, so let's write that right here, business that needs to educate. If you're one of those businesses that I just talked about that don't need to educate people, you can pretty much leave the video right now because you already have everything you need. You understand that all you need to do is create better pages to show off what you sell. But if you are a business that in any way needs to educate the people that are going to buy from you and you fall into this bucket, then let me introduce you to pre-sale pages. All right, so what you're seeing right here are a few examples of pre-sale pages. Now, I just want to be clear, this swipe file was given to me by my copywriter who got it from a guy named Ariane Janes. So Ariane, shout out to you. This is your swipe file, good stuff. However, I want to show you these as examples of advertorials or listicles or any type of pre-sale page that we're talking about here. So this right here is a great example of a listicle. A listicle is an article positioned as a list. Usually this is like a list of reasons. So this one, I won't lie, I think the headline's pretty weak here. It's 9 reasons why people love this shake. Now, if you're sending warm traffic like an email list to this, it's probably fine. However, if this was like an ad to cold traffic, this would not perform very well probably. However, you can see it's the 9 reasons why, here's why. It's pretty basic, and it's just, you know, a list of reasons. Then down here they say if you made it to number 9, you're obviously serious about living a healthier lifestyle. Try Kachava, which then would advance them to the sales page like we were talking about. Now, this is an example of an advertorial page. Now, similar to a listicle, an advertorial is just kind of like a play on words. It's an advertisement disguised as an editorial. So that's how you get advertorial. So the whole purpose of an advertorial is essentially to inform and educate the person that's reading it and sell the click to the sales page. Once again, we're trying to pre-sell them on the mechanism or the ingredient or the product or whatever it is. So in this advertorial, it's how Joe Rogan gets fired up on all cylinders. I watched this video. It's essentially Joe Rogan talking about how this supplement Alpha Brain is just insane for his brain and he always uses it. So we can just scroll through here and you can see some of these sub-headlines. Getting into flow state is the holy grail of productivity, an easy way to support flow state. The supplement has been formulated to support cognitive functions, memory, mental processing speed, focus. And then they're doing call to actions over to the actual supplement page itself. Here's another example of a listicle. Now, this is an example of an advertorial where it's more story-based. And as you can see, the whole purpose of all of these is to inform the reader, educate the reader so that they can advance onto the sales page where they'll actually go ahead and make that final purchase. So now from here, you kind of just have to make a decision between something like an advertorial and a listicle. Which one are you going to use? Now, an important distinction that I like to make here is that an advertorial is going to be better for more of an unaware or a problem-aware audience, whereas something like a listicle is going to make more sense for a solution-aware or like a product-aware audience. So when we're trying to decide whether we should use something like an advertorial or a listicle, this is kind of what it comes down to. And if you don't already know, there are 5 stages of market awareness that are kind of talked about by Eugene Schwartz. So to kind of paint the picture here for you, an unaware audience, these are people that don't even know that they have a specific problem. Problem-aware audiences know about the problem that they have, they just don't know about a solution. Solution-aware, they're aware of all the different solutions or like categories of solutions that could solve their problem. And then product-aware, these people know about the solution and they know about your specific product that gives them that solution to their problem. And of course, most aware just means that they know your product, they know a bit about it, they're just not quite a buyer yet. So these people over on the unaware and problem-aware side are typically going to be coming from an ad. And I'm talking about a cold ad. Now, don't get me wrong, you could be running an ad to people that are already solution-aware or product-aware. For the most part, your ads that you're running are going to be either to problem-aware or solution-aware. But when it comes to deciding between an advertorial or a listicle, but you know, whatever makes the most sense for you, this is kind of how we like to draw it up. So then a solution aware or a product aware audience are typically going to be people that are already on your email list. Reason being, they've joined your list because they follow you on social media. Maybe they actually bought from you. Maybe you gave them some offer at some point that made them opt in. Either way, they're on the list, meaning they know a little bit about you. They know about your products. They've been educated on it already. So these people just need that pre-sale page to give them the reasons, once again, the reasons that we look looked at to get them to actually purchase. All right, so now you have a little bit of context about what pre-sale pages are and which ones might work the best for you. If you have questions on any of this, please drop them in the comments and let me know what other videos I can make that would be helpful to you. As an email and SMS marketing agency, we're doing a lot of this stuff for our clients, and I would be happy to make more content about it, showing you guys what we're doing. Until then, if you want 3 free email funnel concepts, meaning my team and I will build you a custom strategy from an email to a pre-sale page to a landing page, all you have to do is hit the top link in the description, and that'll give you an access link to a free quiz. You take that quiz, it takes about 60 seconds, and then your information will be sent to me and my team. We will personally send you 3 email funnel concepts so that you can test them out for yourself. Other than that, I've got a full course on email and SMS marketing that'll pop up on the screen right here. Hope you enjoyed. Drop any questions in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.